Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Kop Crunch. On this channel, we react to latest Premier League games, talk about latest transfer gossip surrounding Liverpool Football Club, and at the same time we also talk about how different squad changes are going to impact our formations and performances throughout the season. As you guys are aware, Liverpool have made some big signings this transfer window. Arne Slot and his team have tried to address some of the gaps which were identified last season. These include bolstering the left back position by signing of Milos Kerkez, finding a not so obvious but supremely talented replacement for Trent in Jeremy Frimpong, and then addressing the striker position, which has been a point of contention for last couple of years. Don't worry, I did not forget Florian Wirtz. He is going to be our creator in chief for the coming season. But the questions come: how are these new signings going to gel together in the Arne Slot system? And how is our lineup going to look like in the coming season? In this video, I will try to address some of these questions and I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section. So let's get started. Before we start talking about how new players are going to impact our team in 25-26 season, we need to briefly talk about what was going on last season and what were the key gaps that Arne Slot and his team have identified to address in the current transfer window. So, to start off, if we talk in traditional terms, Arne Slot plays a 4-2-3-1 system, but that's not how he usually sets it up. A typical 4-2-3-1 system should look like this, but in case of Arne Slot, this is not what was happening. What we observed is Soboslai would be covering more on the right hand side of things. McAllister would be somewhere in this left hand channel, and Gravenberg and Trent Alexander Arnold will be your double pivot in the middle. And then to cover up Trent, it would be either the responsibility of Soboslai or it will be the responsibility of Konate to cover Trent's right back position. And this is what we typically saw. But although Arne Slot was playing this way, this wasn't exactly the way he wanted to play. The reason why he was doing this is because of some of the key weaknesses in our team, especially in the left back position, where we observed that Robertson was lacking the legs to run those channels throughout the game. And by the second half of the season, you might have observed that Arne Slot was preferring Costa Simicas over Andy Robertson. Now, adding Costa Simicas will solve the legs problem, but then it will not solve the creativity issue that we had on the left hand side. So, although Simicas was able to make the runs, he was not able to do much with the ball. So that was the reason he was there was like the chance creation from the left hand side of the flank was very low. Whatever chance creation was happening by Gakpo, making those runs towards the flank or towards the inside. And that was the reason why we signed Milos Kerkez. Milos Kerkez will provide you the legs to run down the left hand side flank, and at the same time, from positions like these, he is capable of passing on the ball to the attackers and create some chances, which was missing out in the last season because Andy Robertson was not able to make the runs and Costa Simicas was not having the quality to make those changes. At the same time, another issue that we observed is since Trent was so determined to go into the middle and be a midfielder, which he is not, to be very honest, but then to make maximum use of his creativity, Arne Slot was using him in this double pivot role. But towards the end of last season, what we observed is Arne Slot is pivoting to a different kind of a system, keeping the new signings in mind because he might be all be aware of which players we were signing and he was preparing for that and we were not aware of it. So now let's talk about the new system that he's going to play in the coming season. What we observed towards the end of last season and in this preseason is something like this, where Ryan Gravenberg is coming in between the two defenders of Van Dijk and Konate to receive the ball from Allison and then move it forward. At the same time, we signed Florian Wirtz. One of the key reasons of signing Florian Wirtz is to provide him the freedom to run across the field. Florian Wirtz is going to be part of our build up and he can take the ball from somewhere here and move it forward, or he can also receive the ball maybe from Ryan Gravenberg or Soboslai somewhere in this area behind the three attackers and be the link up person. As he mentioned in one of the interviews, that this freedom which Arne Slot provided him was the reason why he chose Liverpool. So, In that case, what signing of Florian Wirtz is going to do for us is to give us more weapons in those games where teams were just sitting back or low blocking us. For example, the game against West Ham or the game against Nottingham Forest away. Having player like Florian Wirtz who is making those key passes or key runs across the field, like he can be anywhere on the field. That's what we are seeing right now. He can be anywhere where he is needed across the field, and he has the freedom from Arne Slot to do that. And at the same time, we have also signed a player like Ekitike, who can again be a false nine or an out and out striker, depending on the situation. So, what we have done this time around with those signings is we have given us more options in the attack. Another key point, which was an issue last year, which Salah pointed out towards the end of the season in one of the interviews to Gary Neville, as per Mohamed Salah, he was getting ganged up by two to three defenders whenever he was trying to create some chances or to score some goals and things like that. He was ganging up by multiple players. So then how do we solve that? Because with Trent being in the midfield, Salah had to cover the flank from where he has to make all the runs inside, and then by the time he's trying to get into inside, you will see that he's getting blocked by some defenders, two or three defenders. So to solve this problem, what Liverpool have done is signed someone like Jeremy Frimpong. The signing of Jeremy Frimpong is going to give us some options in terms of he's quite quick, as we have already seen. Curtis Jones is already calling him the fastest player in the team. So what he can do is he can make those overlapping runs, or at the same time he can make those underlapping runs, which gives Salah more space and creative freedom to make those key passes or to score some goals after coming inside. So Salah now is not going to be reduced to the flanks, which he was doing whenever Trent was playing last year. Now Salah can go more inside with Frimpong going outside, and at the same time, Frimpong is going to attract some defenders since he's so fast and since he's so agile, which would be ganging up on Salah last year. And at the same time, Frimpong is also perfectly capable of going inside and making those key passes for attackers like Gakpo or Ekitike to attack the ball and to score some more goals. And then at the same time, Frimpong is also capable of scoring the goals. So this gives our attack a lot of different options, and Arne Slot a lot of different options. Similarly, on the left hand side, since you now have Milos Kerkez, you have the legs of for someone who can cover the defensive areas as well as go forward and support the attack as well. Milos Kerkez has already shown the signs of being a true successor for Andy Robertson. Like 5 years ago, Andy Robertson was doing the same things that Milos Kerkez is doing now. It's just that Andy Robertson does not have the legs anymore since he is 32 years old. Milos Kerkez will provide the same kind of freedom for Gakpo to move inside, similarly like Frimpong is doing to do for Salah. Gakpo, if you look at his goals from last season, you will see that most of his goals come from this area. And if Milos Kerkez is doing those overlapping runs, it allows Gakpo to get inside and create more chances or score more goals of his own. Along with all of that, we have signed a striker in Ekitike who can be everything. He can be a out and out striker in the box, or he can be a false nine who is linking up play and allowing Gakpo and Salah to move forward and attack. And then when you are talking about attack, we should not forget Florian Wirtz, because Florian Wirtz is someone who is going to play in the entire midfield, but his main role is going to be the creator in chief. So you will see that a lot of the times he will be linking up play between Salah, Frimpong, and Ekitike, or he will be linking up play between Milos Kerkez, Gakpo, and Ekitike. Or if Ekitike is in the forward positions, then Wirtz will also play with Soboslai and outside the 30-yard box kind of a area to create more and more chances. Now, along with all this that we talked about just now, we should not forget that these are not the only players that Arne Slot has at his disposal this time around. He also has Alexis McAllister, who is going to swap places with Soboslai a lot of the times. And at the same time, we have Andy Robertson, from which Milos Kerkez can learn. And that will be a great, great benefit for Milos Kerkez to learn from. And at the same time, Andy Robertson can also play in some crunch matches. And with his experience, it can be really, really beneficial to the team. Another player that we should not be missing out on is Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley always flows under the radar. The reason being he is very, very prone to injuries, but he is a terrific player on the right flank. In some of the games, we also saw an interesting situation where Salah was not there. In that case, Frimpong was playing in the right wing position and Conor Bradley was the one running the flanks, which shows the number of options that Arne Slot has at his disposal this time around. And from all these team combinations and the compositions, it seems like this is going to be a very, very exciting season for Liverpool. And I think we will continue to talk about how these different players align together throughout the season as well. This is a very, very early assessment of the team which Arne Slot has put together for 25-26 season. And there are bound to be changes as we go because some of the strategies that Arne Slot is planning to adopt might not work. So then we will see what he changes. And with that, thank you for watching this video. I hope I was able to leave you with some insights about how Liverpool lineup is going to look like in the coming season, and we will get some of our answers in the coming weeks when Premier League season starts. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.